other extracts that protect against cancer powerfully. One, for example, is the green tea catechins. The EGCG from green tea has a very powerful effect on inhibiting progression, invasion, and migration of cancer cells, but it also prevents cancer from developing to begin with. So we're saying that the green vegetables, the mushrooms, the berries, and the green tea, and we're talking about some of these extra elements to add to the diet to give you enhanced, powerful effect to prevent cancer from developing and spreading. And green tea has powerful anti-angiogenic effects, which prevent cancer cells from spreading or leaning a blood supply to metastasize and grow. And it inhibits IGF-1, right? Green tea, and it keeps IGF-1 low, which we're talking about being a cancer promoting from animal products, and protects DNA damage and has anti-estrogenic effects. So you're seeing the relationship between green vegetables and mushrooms and green tea and all these foods and soybeans and beans have similar synergistic effects that make your body very inhospitable to cancer cells. When you eat a nutritarian diet with all these individual factors, right? All these individual precision that prevents cancer cells to replicate, there's too many factors that are going on top of each other. It just doesn't let cancer cells grow. So turmeric's another one of these things that we're eating turmeric powder, and curcumin is the extract from turmeric that we concentrate to give people in a supplement to get more absorbability out of the anti-cancer ingredient of turmeric. So we use dried turmeric, and we use black turmeric, and we use for its anti-proliferative and apoptotic effects. Apoptotic means killing of abnormal cells and removing them, right? And we're using it in salad dressings, and we make a Thai curry sauce with cumin and turmeric at night with some lemongrass, right, to a Thai curry sauce on a mixed vegetable wok, let's say, with cabbage and snow pea pods and the mushrooms in there. And then we're taking extra supplements, and we use these supplements different in people who have cancer. I may take a little bit of mushroom extracts by taking one extra mushroom supplement a day, with maybe I'm taking one supplement to get my green tea extracts and my turmeric and curcumin derivatives to help my anti-cancer potential, but not when I'm treating a patient with cancer. When I'm treating a patient with cancer, I'm giving these things in a different vehicle, because then they're having them 7 in the morning, 12 noon, 5 p.m., and 10 p.m. at night. And if the cancer is a dangerous cancer, I'm giving them, and when they wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, like between 1 and 4 in the morning, I'll have them take another pill. We keep these substances floating in their bloodstream all day and night to chronically suppress or starve the cancer cell from being able to replicate, so to induce more higher risk of remission. So it's not just giving these extra supplements for cancer that we know have anti-cancer effects, and of course, juicing to bring the level of nutrients up in the tissues faster, because some of these people don't have a great appetite, so we're juicing to get their levels of nutrients in the tissues higher. And we're also giving a little higher amounts of supplements more around the clock. So the prescription on this nutritarian diet that we're talking about, just in general for you and me, is we eat at least a half a cup of beans a day. And of course, if you're bigger and more exercise, you eat more of these foods. I'm just giving a minimum amount of the food to eat, not a maximum amount to eat. You can eat, some people need more food and should have more food, but I'm just saying eat at least this much, eat at least a half a cup of beans. And some of that bean should be soybean. And at least in the week, have some soybean in there. Soybean is a longevity promoter. Eat at least 3 fresh fruits a day, and some of that fresh fruit should be berries or cherries or blackberries or wild blueberries. And I love to buy frozen berries, because you can buy the frozen organic wild blueberries and the frozen blackberries. They're fresh. They don't have monk fungus in them, and you can just use what you're using for that day, even if it's just a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit of berry frozen from the freezer to put into your morning, whatever you're eating, oat or quinoa, whatever you're eating in the morning. I think today I didn't have any grain with it. I just had the berries and the seeds with some soy milk. With some of my supplements, I just had the berries, the seeds, and so on. I didn't even have a grain, but sometimes I cook grain in a pressure cooker. Like I'll put oat groats or wheat berries in a pressure cooker, and I'll put it on the beans setting to make it really soft and mushy. And I'll have a little of that, or I'll have some soaked overnight oats or something. And I'll put the beans, the seeds, and the berries, and the soy milk in that or something. But a lot of times, but sometimes I'm not that hungry because I just couldn't skip the grain. But I'm always going to have those fruits. I'm always going to have those seeds. I'm going to have at least a half an ounce of nuts and seeds with every meal to facilitate the absorption of the anti-cancer ingredients. So I had my tablespoon, at least a tablespoon of ground seeds with breakfast. So I have that half, that's the half an ounce, at least half an ounce. I have the seeds with my lunch dressing, too. So I'm saying minimum of 1.5 ounces a day of nuts and seeds. You can have 2 or 3 ounces if you can handle that amount of calories from the exit from, if you're a bigger person or don't need to lose weight or you have to exercise, and you could have more, right? And I have one large salad a day. My mantra, what I'm going to say, make the salad the main dish. In other words, do you have at least one meal a day where a large salad is the main dish of that meal? I do. I do try to do that almost every day. And do you have some cooked greens like Brussels sprouts or broccoli or cabbage or that are maybe cooked in a wok, with mushrooms? And do you have another serving of cooked vegetables at dinner in addition to your big salad for lunch? And are you using both cooked mushrooms in a variety of them and raw onion, which includes a variety of both scallion and onion and red onion and garlic, because garlic is in the onion family. And I use these granules of raw dehydrated garlic granules to sprinkle on my soup or to add to my salad or add to my vegetable dish. Adds a great flavor because I can't eat like raw garlic out of a clove. It's too bitter and too strong tasting.